Local SEO strategy for 2022. This video will be all about a local SEO strategy for 2022. That is the exact topic of today's video. Local SEO strategy for 2022. It looks like we're live, so that's a good thing, right? So this video will be focused on a local SEO strategy, or a local SEO strategy. Now, more importantly, what we will be talking about today is a strategy and how it is utilized with specific services. Okay, so in any case, hey there, my name is Chris Palmer. In today's local SEO strategy for 2022 video, what I'd like to go ahead and lay out for you from beginning until end is every step that you're going to need to implement on a high level. Of course, I'm not going to get into intricate details, but I'll walk you through step by step a local SEO strategy and how it can be utilized with services. So with that being said, I don't want to waste too much time here. I want to start laying out a strategy. And when we're talking about local SEO strategy or any SEO strategy, everything starts with foundation. Okay, so I think it is massively important to get the foundational elements of your website dialed in without any shadow of a doubt. So going from a $2 or $3 hosting plan to, say, your $8 or $9 a month type plans, or maybe even cloud services, will massively impact the overall success of your campaign. Plus, on top of it, when you pay more, you're getting better customer support. So with that being said, there's a magnitude of services here. I'm not here to promote a service, but what I will say is, starting with your hosting, okay, go for cloud or VPS. There's also services out there like Aduda, which is hosted on top of Amazon services. But I mean, there's a plethora. Microsoft offers them. There's tons of them. Okay, there's absolutely positively tons of them. On top of that, if we're looking at shared hosting, okay, the deal is no matter what, it's on hardware somewhere, right? So that would mean that there's a dedicated server somewhere that has been partitioned out multiple times. Now, the cheaper the service, they have to make up for that money somewhere. You see what I'm saying? So pay the fee, start with a wildly strong, 2 gigs, maybe 3 gigs, or maybe cloud services. Start with the foundation dialed in. I cannot emphasize this enough. It will save you so much headache and trouble. Start with hosting, being fast and high quality. Okay, I recommend cloud or VPS or a service like Duda, perhaps. I don't have any affiliate links or anything like that, even though I use Duda and I love Duda and they're great. But it's up to you. Some of Squarespace's stuff runs fast, but hey, it's completely up to you. Choose what's best, but go fast. Try not to go shared. Go VPS or cloud. Go with a service that can provide a ultra fast foundation for you. So cloud or VPS, or a service like Duda that is fast and higher quality. Try to skip lower cost solutions that might not have the same resources. Meaning, when I'm talking about resources, I'm talking about virtual cores. So that's how servers are broken down, or virtual, like virtual RAM or virtual cores. Okay. So when you're going for cloud, you can scale infinitely the amount of resources that can be utilized for your website. All right. It's great. It's a great thing. Okay. On top of that too, let's say you're hosting the type of stuff. I'm trying to give you all the success possible. I don't know if this would be, let's keep going here. So next, in my opinion, it's like, okay, once we have established a high quality host and we've secured a high quality host, if you haven't already, be mindful of the name that you utilize. For short-term gains, it might be really good to own, best car shops in Miami, Florida.com, but you never know what tomorrow will bring. So I would wildly say choose something that's more brandable, right? So yeah, go with something more brandable, because yes, you won't get that, upfront benefit of having an exact match domain in one location, but over time, you will have much more benefits than fallbacks. For short-term success, go with your exact matches or partials and all that kind of stuff. For longer term, what I have found, in my opinion, is go for a more branded play. Okay, so, and you can still get keywords in there too, by the way. So step number one, nailing in your hosting. Step number two, or step number one, is acquire a high quality domain that is more brandable than exact match or tied to a specific location. The next thing after we do this, what I would do is keyword research, but not in the way of it. So keyword research meaning once you've made your initial list of services that you offer, okay? So you know the services that you offer, right? So what I would do is keyword research starting with a list of services, okay? So list out your services and list out your locations that you want to win. Now, I completely understand that you might want to go for, hey, I want to dominate all of, I don't know, Texas. That's quite a goal. And I'm sure that's what you want. However, I would start with the immediate cities or smaller areas first, and really map that out. And if you have the budget to propel a campaign that's going to be optimistic as you want to take over a whole state, make sure that you have the budget to back that up. Because as I'm gonna lay out here, is the overall objective here when laying out keyword research, starting with your primary services and primary locations, is really starting to do what I like to call either website or keyword mapping. Okay. Now, what I mean by keyword mapping or website mapping or whatever it is the first pages that I'm going to lay in there, other than foundational pages, okay, are going to be location-based service pages. And what that looks like when we're talking about location-based service pages, okay, to give you an example, all right, and I guess I can make a list and fill this out later, but location-based service pages here, give me this. Why is this making numbers? I don't want numbers. I just don't want them. Location-based service pages, for example. Okay, for example, let's keep with Texas. Let's say that you're a plumber and you offer plumber services. You want to first and foremost, once you have outlined to yourself a list of locations and a list of services, the next thing that you're going to want to do is start laying in your location-based service pages. So what I mean by that is this. So you'll have your HTTPS website.com, okay, / plumber Houston, okay. So let's say that these are going to be some of your service pages. So this is a location-based service page. For example, it's going to be the website .com / plumber Houston. So we have website and keyword mapping, making a list of all of the items. The next thing actually before that, I'm trying to make a list so I can give people a list, some things to follow. Start with a high quality site. We're going to do some keyword research, starting out with a list of services and a list of your locations. Let's just call this research. Okay, because you already know what the primaries are going to be. Research is starting with a list of services and a list out all of your locations. The next thing is lay out main navigation. Okay. So I would draw out main navigational elements, meaning visualize your home page placement, services placement, about us, right? Your contact page, right? Visualize these particular types of elements inside of the header, okay? So what I would mean by this is when you're having your website, you know, the main navigation, like what are your plans going to be, okay? So like, what's it going to say? Are you going to have homepage? Are you going to have, are you only doing, say, Texas? Okay, great. Do Texas. So then I would probably list out services. If you plan on doing other states, then I might list out states, okay? Because I want it to be very, very easy for not only the crawler, but people to find the pages that I want to rank, okay? Now, not only do I want to do header navigational mapping and figure out, okay, what's the layout going to be, right? But I also want to do, well, how can I point to the most specific pages? I want to also map out and get a clear understanding. As soon as you go to launch, okay, what's my footer going to look like? These are very, this is where I see, you know, when clients come, you know, this is where I see a lot of the trouble, okay? So get a clear understanding. So I'm gonna make a whole list here. So layout, main navigation. So draw out main navigation. Now they have a thing, okay? Now something that's really good could be a Gantt chart, okay? If you don't like a Gantt chart, use Sheets. That's what we use. All right. And if you're curious or if you're having trouble visualizing right now as I'm explaining here, check this out. So come over here. I won't give you any client stuff, but I'll share this with you. So like literally visualize it, lay it out, like write out home, right? I don't know, Texas. Okay. Say you want to do, I don't know, Ohio. Maybe you want to do, I don't know, Florida, right? Okay. Lay it out, about us. Okay, and start visualizing it. Then lay out your footer page. Make your whole page in a visual element so you can lay it out and it's clear to implement and easy to implement. So you can hand it off to somebody that's willing to go throw up pages for 20 bucks a piece, right? Instead of paying people 100, 200, 300, $5,000 to set up a site. Like, are you kidding me? No. Stop. This is madness. But in any case, do whatever you want. I don't care. But that would be the first thing, right? So header navigation or main navigation, right? It seems so small, but it's so big. Internal linking is massive because what I'm going to set you up for is success here. So header navigation, set that up from the door. Get a Gantt chart, lay it out in Sheets, lay it out and visualize it. You want to do it and click up any fancy stuff you want to do, go do it. But what I would do is use Sheets, okay? Then the next thing is going to be go lay out your footer, okay? Then the next thing too is as you're starting to do your website and keyword mapping, okay? So website and keyword mapping, what we're going to start doing is we're going to lay out, create a list of all services that you offer, okay? Okay. And then create a list of all locations you want to offer your services in, okay? So after we've laid out our initial pages, like about us's, our portfolios, our reviews, and all that stuff, make yourself a list of all the services that you want to offer. Then after that, make a list of all the locations you want to offer. The next thing I want you to do is start look up populations in those areas, okay? Do a search. Say you want to go out and do, because this will get you off of the little stuff that's not going to bring dollars for you and your family, right? Because I see this all the time. You got a winner. You got somebody in Houston, right? Let's take this for instance. I see this a lot. I want to set you up for success. Say you want to go win Houston. What I'll see then is, okay, let's go out and create 9 trillion pages and let's target. Now, if you're trying to rank in GMB too specifically in smaller areas, or you're trying to green up maps and you're doing something tricky, that's more advanced stuff. That isn't stuff you should be focusing on as you're trying to build authority and topical relevance for your website. Lay out main foundational products and services in the primary locations that are going to drive the most traffic. So what I would do is you can lay out pages, but if there's not enough people or enough searches in those specific areas, just because it's a zero search doesn't mean that it's not worth targeting. But if there's only 1,000 people and the average for a specific location is 10, I do not want you to lay out pages for those locations. It doesn't make sense. So this is what I mean. We have a centralized location of Houston. You know, somebody might go in there and create a page for Southeast Houston. No, by targeting a bigger, broader keyword, Houston, if I have enough authority, if I have enough age, if I can build up enough, if you give it enough time, you'll win the Southeast by having a properly optimized page. Okay? And so this is what I want you to do. Make your list of your locations and all your services. Next, when you get done with your locations, go out and check and start looking up Southeast, let's say Central, let's say Chinatown, Houston. Okay, so Chinatown, Houston. Okay, so Chinatown, Houston, population. Like, go take a look. Is it worth me doing a page for this? The next thing I want you to do is, depending on the type of service you're offering, okay? If you're offering commercial-based services, okay, or whether you're doing residential services, check it out. You shouldn't be creating pages if you're offering residential services and it's all commercial locations. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to gear you towards is, once you create all locations that you want to offer your services in, look up the populations in those areas. Next, if you offer residential services or commercial services, once the population criteria is met, right? Like, once you actually do the homework and figure out, hey, is there actually people here? Well, what kind of service am I offering? Well, I'm offering residential services. Well, Chinatown in Houston is primarily all businesses, 73%. Plus, the search volume is really low for houses because there's only 14 houses there, right? I'm not saying that there is. I'm just giving this as a reference. But what I'm getting at is, be mindful about what you're doing. Don't just throw it up. Do not allocate budget, time, money, or mental resource on anything that is not going to produce dollars for you, your business, or your family. Period. End of statement. Okay? So there it is. So next, to offer residential services or commercial services once the population criteria is met. Okay? Make yourself a finalized list. Okay? Of locations. Trust me, it will be a lot smaller than when you started. All right. Also, next, do the same for your primary services. Okay. Have a look at volumes. Okay. Also, have a look at the SERP. And what I mean by this is, let's say you're doing leaky faucets, but you also do leaky bathroom faucets. Look up both of those terms and then put a geo modifier on it. So leaky bathroom faucets, Houston. Leaky sink faucets, Houston. If Google throws the same result, only create one page. Create one page. Simply by having those secondary terms on the page just one time. If you can have enough authority and you're targeted right towards the more broad keyword, generally you'll bring in those smaller keywords, okay? Especially as you bring in authority. So give it time. Don't be in a rush, you know? Take your time. So do the same for primary services. Have a look at volumes. Also have a look at the SERP. If you are targeting, okay, for instance, leaky faucets, Houston, or leaky bathroom faucets, Houston, look at the SERP. If Google is showing same results, right? Same top 5, top 10 rankers, they might switch orders, okay? Don't let that throw you off. If you see the same players, right? Yelp, whatever it is, right? But you're seeing the same guys, same pages or gals or businesses. If you're seeing the same businesses, just create one page. Go after the broader spectrum of the term, like whichever one is a little bit more better or more profitable for you and your business. Go after that one, and then just mention those specific services secondary, okay? Look at the SERP. Is Google showing the same results? If they are, create one page for the higher volume keyword. Okay. Doesn't necessarily have to be the higher volume keyword or more profitable service. We'll worry about spelling later. Okay. Let's talk about strategy right now for my grammar police out there. Anyway, location-based service pages, for example, is this. All right, so far what I've done is we've gone through, I'm going to recap here real quick. We've gone ahead and started with hosting, getting quality and dependent hosting. Next is research, starting out with a list of services and a list of locations you want to go into. So create your lists, okay? Put it on an Excel file or Google Sheets. Make your list. Everything you do, most profitable first, and then work your way down. Lay out the main header navigation. So literally draw it out, visualize it. It could be a Gantt chart, it could be sheets, however you want to do it. And then also do the same exact thing for your footer. Lay out your footer the same way, okay? Website or keyword mapping. Create a list of the services that you offer. All right, create a list of the locations you want to offer your services in. Look up populations in those areas. Next, if you offer residential services or commercial in those areas, look for the average. Only target locations that could lead to the best chance of service rendering, okay? Like actually being able to get a sale or get in front of somebody. Now, if you got a crazy budget, right, and you're just like, hey, I just want to create 1 trillion pages, I'm going to go bananas, go for it. It's up to you. But if you're looking for a little bit quicker success for less, I would follow this. Next, if you offer residential services or commercial services, once the population criteria is met, make yourself a finalized list of locations based on population and types of commercial or residential population is in the area, okay? So if you offer commercial services and the area is all residential, then that location is bad for your business, okay? This could be common sense, but I see this pretty consistently, okay? That's why I'm making this video. Anyway, so next, do the same exact thing for primary services. Have a look at volumes. Also have a look at the SERP. If you're targeting, for instance, leaky faucets in Houston, and then you also look up leaky bathroom faucets Houston, okay? And it's showing the exact same results, then just create one page and target the page that has more volume or is more profitable for you as a business, okay? Location-based service pages. Okay, now once you've done your homework on the areas, okay, meaning, hey, am I targeting residential areas? Am I targeting commercial areas? Is there population here? Is there search volume here, right? You've done the homework. Okay, this is what we're going to go with. This is where the volume is. This is where the people is. This is what we're going with, okay? The next thing is start literally laying out your winner pages or your primary pages, like your flagship location pages. And what I would do is lay out location-based service pages. So it's like website.com/Plumber Houston. Now, say you want to do other locations. That's perfectly fine. You could do Plumber Austin. You could do Plumber whatever you want. Okay? But make those pages. Send them out. Next, after creating a list of all your location-based service pages, make your list and send out to have your pages built with SEO in mind. Okay, there's all kinds of levels of services, but before you do that, okay, you've laid out your pages, your locations, you've laid out your services, you've done your homework. The next thing is take your location service keywords and do searches for every single one of your location service keywords. What you are now going to do is look at the top 1 to 5 winners showing in the search, okay, search results, okay. See how many words the top performers are using, okay. You can use SEO Quake for this, all right. So SEO Quake, it's a Chrome extension. As you can see, I use it all the time. It's right here. You can go click on density, and then you can see total words on the page. It takes into account everything on the page, okay? I think anything that's in the source code, actually whatever's in the rendered DOM, that's what Google's taking into account. Source code is the next best thing. I highly recommend taking a look at this to get a general idea or a baseline of how much content you should be creating. Now, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that you have to meet word counts. However, all right, do you want to have to know that, okay, all the top performers are using, say, 1,600 words? Do you want to guess that in the 700 words that you created, you answered the query specifically? Or do you want to write towards the SERP and do what Google's rewarding and have a higher probability of ranking? Like, do you want to guess and only write less and hope that you've answered the query properly? Or do you just want to take a look and see what's winning and answer the questions properly, just like all the top guys have done? It's up to you to decide. You don't have to write all the word counts, but I recommend taking a look at that, okay? Next. Once you've laid out all the words, okay, you got your word counts, all right, while you're there, okay, so while you're looking at competitors, okay, so, you know, usually too, I just want to rewind up the list. So after you make your location-based service keywords, usually people would load these into like trackers. You know, I don't want to recommend against it, but at first I recommend that you don't track it because you will drive yourself completely insane. You will literally check your rankings. Listen, you'll be walking through, right? You go to the mall or whatever you're doing, right? You go out for a burger and you're sitting there waiting, and the first thing that you pop in is, oh, I wonder how my rankings are doing, right? You're sitting in the bathroom, you pull out your phone, you're going to read an article, but instead you're like, wonder how my rankings are doing, right? It'll drive you crazy. Trust me on this. You'll drive yourself completely insane. Plus, it might take you quite a while to load them all in. But if you are going to load them in, check out SERPFox. Check out whoever you want. Do whatever you want. SERPFox offers a pretty low cost. SERPWoo is really cool. They have a lot of other features. I like SERPFox. That's what we use. Oh, SERP Robot is pretty cool too. SERPBot, I think it's called. It's pretty cheap. But do whatever you want, man. Or miss. All right, give me a second. Oh my gosh. Craig, I do a live chat with Craig Campbell. If you haven't seen Craig Campbell's channel, check it out. Craig Campbell SEO. Check it out. You probably already did, but if you haven't, check that out. But anyway, he was busting my chops about my desk last week or the week before. And dude, right now he is so right. This thing is rough, dude. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottles of water on here. Some of them are half drank. We got these. We got stuff freaking everywhere. Ah! I gotta clean this off, dude. It'll drive me crazy now because I just thought of it. Give me a sec. Alright, throw those on the floor. They're doing a giveaway. Oh, I can't show that. They'll demonetize my video. Anyway, the company that I can't show it, right? But what I can do is the company's doing this like giveaway. So I've been collecting the cans, so I got tons of them all over the place. Not all over the place, they're right here in one spot. I'm not a slob, but kind of. You know, like I'm not the tidiest guy in the world. I did vacuum. I do vacuum twice a week in here though. So, oh, and I do wipe down my desk usually in the morning, but by the end of the night, it's all a mess. Whatever water I drink throughout the day. Um. Anyway, moving into the next topic here. So, while you're looking at your competitors, yes, you're going to make your list. If you want to load them into, say, a tracker, while you're looking at your competitors, take your service keywords, every single one of your location. Take your location service keywords and do searches for every single one of your location service keywords. Then take all keywords and set them up in tracker. Okay, this is totally optional. Okay. So you could set that up in a tracker. Totally optional. These blue lines are making me crazy. Houston, Houston. Okay. Okay. All right. I know my spelling. I know Google. There's red lines and blue lines, and they put like little squigglies all over. It's like, they're like, hey, hey, hey. All right. So load them into a tracker. Take your location. Okay. What we were going to do is look up the 1 to 5 winners and look for word counts. Yep. So while you're looking up your competitors, all right. So we're going to move this down. So while you already have all those up and you've created all of your lists, okay. You already have the pages up and you're doing it one by one. All right. Before sending off content to be written, okay, while you're doing all searches, also note competitors' websites. Also note down competitors' websites, okay? So not only are you looking for word counts for content links, right? You're also copying down your competitors. And what we're going to be looking for here is while you're looking at your competitors, use a tool like SEMrush, okay, to have a look at root domain overall referring domains, okay, and get a count of sites, get a count of referring domains that are DR or TF 30 plus, okay, whether they're do follow, regardless if no follow or do follow, okay. So regardless if they're no follow or do follow, make your list. Also, note, just note it, okay? Don't go crazy with this. Like, don't go, just also note. Just note. Do not go crazy over analyzing, okay? But take note of the primary anchors being used in each SERP by the top 5 competitors, okay? Like, what are the primary anchor texts? Is it branded? Is it generic? Is it naked? But take note of this. Like, what is the, and what you're looking at by the top 5 competitors, okay? So take note of this. What are the primary anchors being used in each SERP of the top 5 competitors? Take special note. Pay close attention to this part. Okay? You want to see what the other ones are. But what you're really looking at is how many exact matches, on average, do the top 5 competitors have. Okay? So take a look at the top 5 competitors. Get a general idea of what the primaries are, but pay close attention to the exact matches and look at the strength of those links. Okay? Are they using 10? Are they using 20 exact matches? And what range of power? Pick your favorite tool. AS, Authority Score from SEMrush, Trust Flow, Majestic, DR from Ahrefs. On average, if you take the top 5 competitors, this guy has 18, this guy has 23, this guy has 30, this guy has 14, this guy has 60. Add them all up and divide by 5. What's that number? Then just look at the top guys and figure out, okay, they have 283 referring domains. Out of that 283 referring domains, 23 of them are exact match. When you analyze those specific backlinks, figure out what the strengths are, okay? And take note of this. Because whatever they plugged into or whatever they're doing most of the time on local level, if all of their exact matches are DR20s or 30s, then you buy 40s and 50s. If they're buying 40s and 50s, then you buy 50s and 60s. If they're buying bangers, then you buy bangers, okay? But take special note of how many exact matches they have and what quality are they. Pay also close attention to not just the quality, but how many referring domains on the exact match anchors do those specific links have. Pay close attention to this, okay? This is where you want to beat them. It's not a volume game with links. It's a quality game with links. You don't got to beat them on counts. You have to beat them on quality. Okay, so pay close attention to that, my friend. And that's all I'll say about that. Okay, anchors being used in the top 5 competitors. Take special note to exact match anchors, okay? And how many they have and what power are they? Does the top performers have 823 referring domains, but they have 23 that are exact, and the 23 exacts are DR35s? Then buy or acquire, right? 35 DR40s, okay? For example, okay? Wildly impactful. All right. All right, so now we started off with a high quality foundation, setting you up on cloud hosting or VPS, okay? We've laid out our most profitable services and locations by volume, population, and the type of services that we want to render, right? Because you can't always go after volume, and you can't always go after all the primaries. So during your research, this should be up here too. Like, okay, let me put this in order because I'll come back and do this, but it has to be in order originally, okay? Create a list of location-based service pages. Offer your services in, right? So look up populations, next the residential or commercial. Next, you want to do primary services and volumes. You know, also look at top competitors' organic traffic in SEMrush and see, other than branded terms, what keywords are driving the highest percentages of traffic. Take note of this, okay? Because 99.9% of the time, the primary driver of any location, local business is going to be brand. After brand, it's usually going to be a primary service. And then usually, if somebody spend a little bit of coin, right, or they know a little bit about something, they're going to have 1 or 2 other keywords that are primarily driving the business. So you'll get brand, you'll get primary keyword that's driving their business, like whatever they're truly optimized for, where they spent the most money or the most time or the most mental effort, right? You could tell that's what they're bringing in. Brand name, primary service, and then maybe 1 or 2 keywords. Guys that are really spending some juice, maybe they might have 50 or 100 keywords. You might get lucky. Depends on the niche too. But the only thing I'm getting at here is as you're doing your competitive analysis for primary keywords and word counts, and you're looking at their DRs, you're already there looking up their business. Take a look at the primary percentages of traffic other than brand and primary keywords. Which other keywords are driving the business? Is it informational content? Is it commercial-based content? Is it transactional content? Which type of content is it? Because as you're starting to lay out your primary service plans in the locations that you want to start targeting, you can also start mapping out and laying out your informational-based content to support. And when you're building out your supporting content, it's only there to help power the primary service location pages, right? And the number one thing, the differentiator between a top performer and a lower performer, is traffic and clicks. So if you're going to start competing or dominating a SERP, you have to start decreasing the amount of traffic and clicks that your top performers are receiving. So the only way to do that is to take it from them, right? So you want to start targeting out those specific types of keywords. This is where your supporting content strategy should first be laid out. Extracting content ideas from the top competitors, okay? So you're going to have all your top product pages or service pages and location pages, yes. But we also want to start mapping out a very specific informational based list as well, okay? And we're going to talk about that as we move on here, okay? But okay, so keywords, they are bringing the highest percentage of traffic. Take note of this. Looking for info keywords, write these down, okay? Or add them to your keyword list, all right? Add that stuff to your keyword list, all right? Now you start laying out the actual pages and what they're going to be, and literally map them out. Like, have a clear plan. Like, lay out your structure, lay out your header, okay? Lay out your footer, okay? So you have your header, you have your footer, okay? The next thing that you should be doing is start laying out your pages, okay? Start laying out your pages, right? You're going to have your blog, start filling in the details and literally write it out. Like, literally, before you lay a flipping page down, before you lay down anything, okay? Like, you could get the skeleton up. That's cool. But before you lay anything, make sure you map it out first. Have a clear plan. Because if you don't have a clear plan, then everything starts sounding good. You see what I'm saying? Then you start getting these other ideas, right? No. Lay out your plan, work the plan till completion, and then move on to other ideas and plans and ways to expand the business. But the primary focus is to lay out the locations and the primary service pages first, and then also build up 3 to 5 pieces of informational-based content to propel those primary service pages. That's your initial goal no matter what. You have to do it, okay? I know it sucks. I know. Trust me, I know. You know? Anyway, moving on. Next, after creating a list of all your location-based service pages, make your list and send it out to have your content built with SEO in mind. Okay, now we're finally getting to it. You need SEO content? Come on over here, click on this button. It's right here, content writing. Bam, we have SEO in mind, okay? It's up to you. Do whatever you want. You could use whatever you want. You want to use whoever you want. I'm just saying it's there, okay? Because I want to talk about the plans and how they're being used, but I had to lay out the foundation first and why we do things the way that we do them, all right? I'm getting to that. I'm getting to the actual, you know, I was asked to lay out a clear strategy of using the services, but I can't lay out a clear strategy until you completely understand why we're doing what we're doing, right? So we're gonna go through that, okay? Okay, now, next, after creating a list of all your location-based service pages, make your list and send it out to have your pages built with SEO in mind, okay? You can feel free to go here. Nah! Okay. Okay. So now you have your content. It's about to be written. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now, okay. So let's recap what we have and have done so far. Okay. 1, we have good hosting. 2, we have a clear idea of our services. 3, we have a clear plan of locations to target. 4, we know how many links we are going to need. 5, we know primary anchors to use. 6, we have a mind map or Gantt chart layout of our website. Okay, so we have the layout. We've set up our hosting. We have a clear idea of our services that we want to offer, clear idea of our locations. We know how many links we need. We know what the primary anchors we need to use. We have a literal visual idea of exactly how the website is going to flow. We have our initial site-wide links, header, footer. Okay. So we have that plan. All right. So, okay. Create a list of the most profitable services and locations. These services, these service-based locations will be listed throughout the service-based location pages inside the body content. Okay, and what I mean by that is once you know your most profitable services, okay, pick a spot. So you're going to have your footer down in here where you're going to repeat your main navigations and your primary services that are most profitable in the profitable locations. I know that this is the footer, but it looks like it's the body content. So you want to do that one more time for your most profitable location-based service pages. Okay? So that way your most profitable location-based service pages are linked in the header, they're linked in the footer, and then they're linked in the body. Now, okay, let's make a clear distinction about this. If you have multiple locations in different states, then only interlink info content and services from that state. Do not cross-link states or cities. Okay? Make your silos. Okay? Generally, a lot of people are going to be in one state, so you'll have the luxury of being able to internally link pretty much everything except for your filler pages. If you're moving into other states, I highly recommend doing your state silos based on your information and your primary services and only internally link those pages to each other. Okay? You can link everything in the header and the footer, but when we're talking about in the body content using contextual terms, only link stuff that's topically relevant. Okay? For internal links, okay? Unless it does not make sense or is going to over-optimize your page, use exact match anchors for internal links. Okay? So unless it's going to throw off the page, okay? Unless it throws off the page, use exact match. Unless it looks like complete garbage, or it's going to throw off the page, use exact match. Okay. So we talked about that. We talked about internal linking. We talked about getting we have our main steps here, right? So we've laid out a clear plan. We're on good host. We've laid out our locations that we want to go based on population. We've laid out our services based on the ones that are most profitable first in the areas that actually have people in them. We're looking for residential or commercial, depending on the type of service we provide. We've also taken a look at the top performers to understand how many words we're going to need for our pages. We're also going to need to know how many referring domains we're going to need, primarily focusing on the exact matches, seeing how many there are and what the quality of them are. Okay. And just because you see that somebody has, 62 referring domains with exact match, building out 180 that are 10 times stronger is probably going to be a good idea, but space it out. Don't do it all at once. Okay. So yeah, that's that. I was going to say don't do that, but that is the objective, but not all at once. Okay. So let me just think that, did I miss anything with the initial setups? I mean, I'm trying to stay. What's impactful? The content will be optimized. You're writing optimized content. You have a super fast host. You have a clear understanding of services and locations. You've made silos. Creating info content. Content on the site plays one role: to generate sales for the service business. Your website is not a blog, okay? The function of your site is to offer your transactional / commercial services, okay? Blog / info content's purpose is to assist the service-based location pages, okay? Do not have you might go over, but okay. The blog / info content's purpose is to assist the service-based location pages, okay? So when setting up your pages, be sure to structure the URLs in a way that Google understands what is the primary focus and what is important to you, okay? Now, understand, okay, on your info pages that are supporting a location-based service page, wait a minute. Tools. On the info pages that are supporting a location-based service page, be sure be sure to internally link the service location pages that you are supporting in the sidebar or a secondary footer of that informational content, period. The objective of this is to increase the amount of internal links going to the primary location-based service pages, period. This way, we have not only internally linked our location-based service pages in the header, the footer, and also in the body content, but now we've also doubled up our internal links to our most valuable pages from our info content as well, period. As long as you structure the website like this, you will then have successfully built the most internal links to the location-based service pages. And now you have also built yourself an internal buffer layer where you can then start utilizing lower cost linking strategies in order to power your primary service pages, period. So let me expand on that. Okay. And here's what I mean by this. All right. So you're going to have your homepage. Okay. Here it is, website.com. And then the next in the structure, right? This is the structure. I'm drawing it out for you. Here's the homepage, location-based service page, info content. Okay. Also, inside of that info content, you're not just going to build one piece. You're also going to build another, and another, and another. And each of those info pieces, if the primary service is Houston Plumber, some of the tips are going to be 10 ways to hire the best Houston plumber, how to find a reputable Houston plumber, what pipes are the best for Houston plumbers, right? Like, I'm sure you'll be able to find lots of informational based content. Okay. People also ask, you have SEMrush tools to be able to pull this up. But the objective here is, okay, let's talk about that next. When creating your informational based supporting content pages, make sure to internally link all of them together. However, with a main goal of linking up to the primary location-based service page. Period. Again, the emphasis is on increasing the amount of internal links to the primary pages that you want to rank. Period. Okay? You want to significantly increase the amount of internal links. And when I'm saying significantly, like, okay. To get a clear idea of how many internal links it might take to show importance to Google, utilize a tool or a Chrome extension to see how many internal links top competitors have pointing at pages that are above you. Period. And let me show you an example of this. Okay? For instance, let's take DUI attorney, Los Angeles. Okay? So you have a DUI attorney in Los Angeles. Okay? So here's the #1 performer. All right. He's ranking his homepage. Now, the homepage should be a clear winner for the amount of internal links. But what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, 204 internal links pointing to this page. Okay. That could also be A tags on this page. Like, that's the amount of A tags on this page. Okay. Links. Now let's scroll down the page. I should write that, A tags. I should write that. I'm going to write that. Okay. But now let's come down here and take a look at a poor performer. Let's just see here. Now Google's rewarding homepages here, so let's find one. Let's be fair. So this guy's down the page. Top performer had 204, 43. Okay. You can look at any SERP you want. Anchor text A tags on the page. Every page. With a clear understanding that you're always trying to point the most to the pages that you want to rank. Okay? Like, if you think you, like, 20 is not going to do it, 40, like, whatever you can. Okay? Do as many as you can. Okay? Whatever makes sense for you. All right? You're the webmaster. But increase the amount of internal links pointing to pages that you want to rank. All right. So that's that. To get a clear idea of internal links, so you can use a tool. So if you do not have Screaming Frog to get a link map of how the site is broken down and the amount of internal links, you can do a manual check and just take a look at some of the pages to get an idea of how much anchor text is on each of the pages. This will give you a overview of how much internal linking a top performer is utilizing. Period. But if you want to get exact numbers, utilize Screaming Frog. It lays that out quite simply, and it's free. Okay, if you really want to get an exact number, Screaming Frog lays it out. Okay, it's free. All right. So now let's start talking about. So now you have your site. Okay. Now to answer the question that I got, why do I offer what I offer? Okay. Let's talk about this. So let's just come down into here. Okay, and we're just going to talk about one. Okay. Let's just use this one. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm not going to lay out every single piece. I'm just putting this here for a reference. Okay. Now, there's a million ways to, I don't know, to do it. Okay. But, here, what's the best way? Let's draw it out. All right. Now, let's talk about off-page strategy. So now you're sitting on a good host. You have all of your location-based service pages. Okay. Let's say that this is your site. Oh. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about this briefly here. It's not time to move into that yet. Blog content. Let's talk about this. Okay. Now, I've touched on it, but I didn't write anything on it. I kind of did, but not how I wanted to. Okay. Let's talk about blog content. Okay. In order to become an authority in a space, it is certainly best practice to round out the amount of keywords that a site ranks for. This could be looked at as building topical authority. This could just be considered good content marketing. Period. However, a local-based business website is not a blog. The primary function of a location of a local business is to offer local services to the residents of the town that you're in or the state that you service. Period. Every page that you create that is informational based serves the purpose of supporting a primary location-based service page. And when you structure out your website, you need to signal to Google that the information content is less important than the primary service page. Period. How you signal this to Google is by putting it further back in the structure. Period. If you're going to build out individual location-based service pages in order to get a ranking advantage in a location for a service, then it will be in your best interest to do the identical strategy for your informational-based content. Period. What I mean by this is that if I have plumbing services Houston, then the informational content should be best plumbing services in Houston for 2022. Or it could be 10 ways to hire a Houston plumber. The objective here is to build out content that supports the main idea. Your website is not a blog. Period. When you're building out your blog content, you can structure it in a news or a tips or a blog section. But the actual URL structure should not be and the reason is that content will still pick up traffic, but it is not the primary goal to rank informational content if I'm trying to sell services. However, what we should be looking to do is build out our supporting content, blog content like this. And the same level of care and uniqueness that you put into your primary location-based service pages, this same care and thought should be put into your location-based informational content. Period. You will not only get more clicks, more traffic, but you will have a higher probability of ranking your primary service pages with the added benefit of having informational-based content that you could build cheaper links to. And yeah, that's it. So you can still have your, just be sure to build out your, due to the actual Google guidelines, it's absolutely recommended that you have a news section or a blog section. Just make sure that your structure says to Google that this is supporting content, not a blog, period. It is certainly best practice to round out your overall topics and ideas around one centralized service or location and keep all of that inside of silos. Make sure that you're internally linking only to location-based service pages and location-based informational content. This is how you create your silos to create topical authority for the primary location-based service page, the page you want to rank. Okay, so I think I laid that out as well as I possibly could. We talked about location-based service pages. We talked about blog content, website structure, on-page optimization, starting with a high-quality host. Take care of all of the big things first, with the highest allocation to budget being on the biggest things, period. What I mean by this is instead of allocating a ton of time or resources or energy on making the site half a millisecond faster, allocate that budget towards content or backlinks or social media or PPC, period. Instead of allocating budget on creating extensive schema markup for individual pages and individual schema types, allocate that budget and time towards higher quality content, links, internal linking, or better CRO. What I'm getting at here is do not lose sight or get stuck in the weeds chasing after traffic hacks, schema manipulation, tricks and hacks. Stick to the script. Lay out your primary service and location pages. Build out your informational-based content to support it. Make sure your foundation is solid. Build high-quality links at low volumes over a steady time. Get into the link graph. Then expand your locations and services as you build authority or enter into authority mode. Then you can start exploring with variations, longer form content, and other strategies and hacks. Do not start with the hacks or the tricks. Focus on content and high quality links. Before you allocate budget on anything, do not forget to re-optimize and add keywords as you begin to get traffic. Also, installing some type of tool like a Hotjar or mouse movement or clarity for the insights that you will receive, it is worth the temporary slowdown of your site. Get a clear understanding of your conversions and what's driving conversions early on so you can maximize profit for your business and allocate it towards what's going to move the needle. Period. That's something that I slipped on early on a lot of client things, is optimizing for a conversion. You know, like, spend money on that. You know, be mindful of that. I think that for the long haul of things, it will be massively beneficial. Okay? All right, CRO. Okay. So we talked about all that stuff. Trying to think, is there anything else that I could help you with to get on track? It's getting late. I'm getting tired. Going roller skating tomorrow with little Chris. I think we're leaving at 1 o'clock. I'm sleeping in tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. Should we keep going? See if you guys have any questions. What's up, Chris? Services, location comments, good call. Yep. Thanks, Zane. Good to see you, Zane. Great to see you, actually. Yo, Chris. Yo, back to you, my friend. Web user, hey, Chris. Good stuff. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Vinny, so I built a site. People in free commercial services business a half a decade ago. I built all cities in the Southern California with duplicate content. How should I go about fixing it? I think you already have the answer there. You've built out all the pages. So they're, you know, take a look at, we just literally laid that out, right? So you know the locations that are going to be the most profitable. You know what services you use. And clearly it's not going to be a good idea to utilize 100% duplicate content. Because you never know. We're one update away. Like, yeah, we're getting away with it now. But we're only one update away, you know? So you never know what they're doing or looking at. Plus, as you start moving up in rank, like, be mindful of who you step on the way up, like who you outrank. Like, you would be massive. Like, here's what I've learned over time. You know, Google's not necessarily going to find anything unless somebody points it out. Okay? Because they will, like, if something keeps showing up, they will send a raider to the site, you know? Like, so just be mindful. You know, like, if enough people go over to that community forum and take pictures or add you to certain, you know, point you out to certain gold star members in communities or whatever the case is, like, somebody will come and check your site. You will get a penalization. So just be mindful. Just be mindful. That's all. You're a legend, truly. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. Brilliant stuff. New update is going to have a lot of sites. Jockeying for position, volatility equals opportunity. For sure, Chuck. For sure, man. You're not lying. Arnold Zia, 7 a.m. here in Edinburgh. My ranking doing very well lately. I got position 1 in Google. Hope it will last long. Well, during these transitional times, you never know. But I'm sure it will for you, my friend. So let's start talking about this now. All right, so we answered the questions. All right. So I'm not saying that this is the only way. I'm just saying that this is one of the ways, okay, that we like to do things. All right. Bear with me here. Okay. So you have your home page. Okay, this is home. All right. Now let's just say you're doing Florida. Okay. Let's move these out of the way. Let's just say that this is our main navigation. We set this up on a really good high quality host, right? So we have our high quality host here. We're targeting Florida. I'll zoom in on this. This is our informational based content that's in a silo. So this is our homepage. This is our blog. Now again, we're looking at the main navigation of a website, okay? The blog's name is Plumbing Tips. Here's our blog. When you click on a blog article, it takes you to only a supporting piece of content for our location-based service pages, okay? So, and you can see by the structure. Now, a question that I get is, well, I see, Chris, that you have, whatever services you're offering, or whoever's offering, right? Like, you don't have to use my services. I offer the same services as most providers. Even the agencies are pretty much doing a lot of the same stuff. I think it just comes down to overall value, right? So let's just say we're going to start talking about off-page and why. So first and foremost, let's start talking about 40 hand-selected DR 40 to 70 links, okay? Now, why would we have 40 DR links? Where would you be pointing something like this, okay? So number one, and now this isn't something I would do all at once. I'm not going to give timelines. I'm just laying out. So why this? Okay, number one, high quality, high powered guest posts or backlinks. Okay. These types of links are to be pointed and distributed throughout your homepage and your most profitable location-based service pages. The objective here is to increase the overall external authority coming in, or the amount of votes, to the primary pages that we want to rank. Now, how this looks visually is if I have a homepage, that's website.com, okay, where I want to build some of my most potent backlinks, all right, I'll just do a dot. Let's open that back up. Oh, that's why. Okay. Why can't I draw? Oh, there we go. Okay. So we have 40, all right? You can buy as many as you want. Let's just say it's 40, okay? Where we want to point our most potent backlinks are going to be to the homepage, because remember, power trickles down, and then our most important primary location-based service pages. So if I want to win Florida plumber, Fort Lauderdale plumber, okay, Fort Lauderdale plumber, and I want to win Fort Myers plumber, then I'm going to distribute those links, the most powerful links, to the pages that I want to rank the most. Okay? So that's step number one. Next is 50 branded Web 2.0s. Okay? It doesn't have to be Web 2s. It could be whatever you want. Okay? But there's only one reason why you build these. One of the main reasons why we want to go ahead and build out authoritative tier 1 backlinks is that so we can show Google and our competitors authoritative websites that can take a lot of other links pointing at them while also passing link equity to our primary pages. The primary focus of building out a branded tier 1 with authoritative sites is that we want to map those foundational websites, Web 2s, just tier 1 sites, to our primary ranking pages. This way, we have a safe way to pass cheaper, less costly link equity through and to our most important pages. So what does that look like? Okay. So what that looks like is this. If I have a primary web page, okay, let's say this is the primary web page. All right, let's do, so we have our primary web page, and then we have our location-based service pages, okay? Let's say there's 3 of them. It's these 3 here. I then am going to build out 50 separate Web 2.0s or just authoritative websites. There's 50 of them. You could build out 100. You could build out as many as you want. But on each of those websites, it links to the most important pages. Okay? This links out to the most important pages. All right? So now I have a branded, authoritative website, not only to get that link, not only am I showing branded, authoritative websites, but now I've just set up a tier 1 that can be utilized and turned off anytime I might need to. So I can turn it on. I have full control. That's like a massive, like, you want to have as much control as you possibly can over everything that you're doing. That's why you want to do branded. You're not hiding it. You're building out a branded asset to take over your name inside of the SERP so your competitor can't go get your website.com.weebly, right? And then talk about how you did whatever, right? You don't want anyone else utilizing your name or getting in front of you, right? So it's very normal for a business owner to go and build out branded assets. Not only that, it's something you control, plus you can direct it to the pages that are most important, plus you get those initial authoritative links, plus you could power them up and it's not going to hurt their site. You see, it's already an authority site. So you could pummel these things. Okay? So you're building out a tier 1. Okay? This is part of your tier 1. Okay? That's why you're doing that. Consider these 50 assets part of your tier 1 that can be utilized for further link building and to cement your name across authoritative assets. Okay, next. This right here, 1,200. It's actually 1,400 unique Google News links. Okay? All right, let's talk about that. Okay. Next, we're going to build out our tier 2 links. You can decide whether you want to point the 1,400 referring domains from Google News approved sites that range everywhere from DR1s all the way up to DR60s to the internal buffer pages on your website or less important pages on your website, or as we recommend, to your tier 1 properties that you built in phase 2. Like Web 2.0s, like videos, like map embeds, like whatever you would like as a tier 1. The objective is to be able to power up your tier without having to break the bank. Period. Also, we want to pay very close attention to our brand name on these assets when creating posts, along with our name, address, and phone number information. This way, we're able to build out unstructured citations while we're plastering our brand name across the web and powering up our tier 1 assets. Period. You're getting a triple whammy there, right? I'm getting unstructured citations while I'm powering up my assets, and I'm getting my brand across the board. What more is there to say? Very effective strategy. Okay? I love it, actually. That's why we use it. All right, next. Next on the list of off-page and why is one authority 302 or 301 to an inner service page or product page. Okay? This is an optional service. Okay? But when we are talking about utilizing a 301 or a 302 from a niche specific domain, when you're building out your overall backlink profile, you are going to run into websites that a lot of your competitors have in common that you will find are relatively hard to acquire. Period. So, in order to help the process of getting into the link graph quickly and effectively, and also build out your overall backlink profile with relevant links, one of the fastest and cheapest ways to do this is by utilizing a site that already possesses the backlinks that are very hard to acquire. Period. This 301 or 302 can be directed to either your tier 1 assets, or you can point it to a primary or secondary internal page on your website, but always be very cautious that you need to have the out of being able to remove that site or change the page that it's pointing to. So you never point this to your home page. Ever. Period. Okay. Next is 300 DA30 to 55 links to your internal buffer page or to your tier 1s. The reason why you use such authoritative, high-powered links to your inner pages is that you want to build the overall authority of the website, not just the top-level pages. Period. Secondly, if you do not want to build out or build in the overall amount of links inside of the packages that you might acquire, these particular assets are exceptionally helpful for building out your tier 1, or you can use these on your internal buffer pages to increase the overall authority and to build a more diverse anchor text portfolio for your website. Period. Okay, so that's why you're using those. Press releases. Okay, so when building out press releases over the course of a 60 or 90-day campaign, you want to always have 3 links going out from each of the press releases. This way, you're able to always send press release links that are either branded or talking about a specific service or service-based location going to your homepage, primary location-based service pages, and a secondary location-based informational page. This way, we're able to build out the overall topical authority of each of our silos for a very low cost, period. You're building 500 at a clip. There's 3 links in each. One always goes to the homepage because your name, address, phone number is always in them. You get 2 links per internal post, right? Where do you point them to? Well, one goes to a top-level location-based service page. The other goes to a location-based informational page. Why? Because every single silo, Google ranks pages, not sites, right? Your site structure, the hierarchy of your website, that whole hierarchy is a silo. Now, is it topically relevant? That's why the larger the sites do really well, because if it's all about one topic, that's considered an authority site. You're building out little mini authority sites in your silos because you have your primary ranking pages, and underneath that, if you want to visualize it this way, you have your location-based information pages. So when you're building links in or getting external links in, I want to just not power the homepage because power trickles down. That's a shortcut. But I also want to power up the primary page and then also the pages beneath it. So what you'll usually do, the reason why I did 4 is most people really only want 1, 4, sometimes 6 locations at most. So that way I just thought to myself, well, what do most people have? So that's why we said 4 plus each week, right? It's a 4-week plan. You see, it's a month. So yeah. So, and that wraps it up. Like for competitive, a little bit more competitive niches, this is generally the layout plan, you know, and to figure out like what we're doing here, like that's what we do. If it's a competitive space and we built it out, we have our primary Florida, this is our state page, okay? And then we have each of our little city pages underneath that. They're not siloed, these are flat because they're location-based service pages. But I have my main primary page up at the top. That's our Florida page. Listed on the Florida Plumber page is all the cities that I want to rank in. When you click on them, it goes back flat. And then off of each of these, if it's Fort Myers Plumbing, I have 10 tips to hire a Fort Myers plumber. 10 tips for hiring a Fort Lauderdale plumber, right? Like literally the same strategy you're using for your location pages. That's what we do for our info content. Because you're not targeting the same SERP. The same rules apply for info content, you know? So just saying, you only got to create one winner page, guys. One winner page. You're not targeting the same SERP, and you can't copy yourself, you know? So you could save a lot of money, and that way you can allocate it towards SEO, you know, conversion rate optimization. You can allocate that towards maybe a little sicker design, or maybe up in your hosting budget, or maybe increasing the amount of links, or hey, maybe we want to get more pages built, right? Start doing more. So yeah, like if you're in a competitive space like Florida Plumbing, you know, we're gonna focus on, you know, we're gonna start looking at this homepage, primary service pages, secondary service location pages. We're going to start building out authority to this. Like we want to start hammering each of these silos, right? Like this is a silo for Florida Plumbing and all of our location service pages and information. We're going to be looking at the homepage always because power trickles down. We're going to be focusing on these pages. We're also going to be building out our tier. So here's our website. This is the homepage. Here's our Florida page. Okay. Florida. These are our city pages. All right. This right here is, we have 50 sites here in a row. That's our tier 1. We're powering this up. We have G News powering this up. Also to any, you know, those info pages, those are internal buffer pages. You can point some of those to those inner pages because if you were to get a penalty, I'm not saying that you are, but if you did, you can never risk the home page and you can never risk primary location pages. But who cares if you lose a blog? Like, if I have a blog and I need to come in here and take away a dash, okay? who cares? Right? Like, who cares? But if you lose your Houston plumber page that you put a G in to reach the top 3, you spend $1,000, you spend $3,000, you spend $5,000 to rank it, and then you get a penalty and you fall off the face of the earth, your leads dry up, you get no phone calls, that's a problem. But if I lose a blog page, who cares? Right? Right. So always keep that in the back of your mind. Never risk the homepage, and never ever risk primary based location pages. All the riskier stuff, if you're going to do riskier stuff, I'm not saying you should, but if you do, if you need to save a buck, the only reason why you would do risky stuff is to save money, right? I can't think of any other reason why. So if you need to save money on your blog content. All right. Also too, don't skimp out on primary based location pages, right? What I mean by that is don't skimp out on links and don't skimp out on content, right? For if you have secondary terms or secondary locations that you want to target, okay, you want to use, cheaper content writers, you want to use maybe some cheaper links, fine. But on pages that are going to drive your business, treat it as such, It's my best advice. So yeah, that's what we focus on. Now this strategy already assumes, okay, because we went right to higher competition. But this assumes month 2 or 3. Like, think about this. Like, do you see what we're doing for our clients? Like, the people that are competing with us in SERPs, like, they don't even stand a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you follow these steps and you give it enough time, they won't even stand a chance. Now, not every single, now if you're looking at top performers, you don't need to drive it all the way home. I just wanted to lay out each of these services. But moving into month 2 or month 3, right? 2 and 3, 2 to 3, this already assumes, okay, it's under formatting. So this is already assuming that, here, let's go over here. Okay, let's talk about this. When building out your citations, if you are going to be targeting more than one location in more than one state, I would highly recommend building your flagship citations to the homepage. Period. If you're going to be building out other states or other larger cities that have their own locational silos, then you should be building to the top level another set of citations. If there's a Google business profile to back up that secondary location. So this would mean that you are building out a set of 50 or 100 citations to each of those top level pages or each of the verified listing locations, period. Press releases in month 1 should be focused around primary pages like the homepage and top level location based service pages. The primary objective here is to signal to Google and other search engines, here is my brand name. Here is where we are located. These are the services that we offer. And here is where you can find the pages to buy these services. These are the pages that you're linking out to in the initial months of a campaign. Some of the very first dollars that should be spent after the initial build outs are getting your hard to acquire, niche specific paid citations. Also, acquiring link graph specific links that your top competitors all have in common, regardless of the cost. Within reason. Now, regardless of how you need to acquire these links that all of your top competitors have in common, if it's going to be a 301 redirect, if it's going to be a paid post, a paid directory, a business listing, whatever is needed in the very early stages of a campaign, you must acquire these links. First and foremost, on some of your earliest link crawls going back to your site, you want to instantly be entered into the link graph with your top competitors. Period. Links to primary pages should not be built rapidly. Whatever the amount of referring domains that your top competitor has, space that out on a weekly basis over the course of a campaign. Do not get in a rush of link building. More is not better unless you're tearing them out. Most top performing websites in the most competitive spaces only have a few hundred referring domains. Do not overly obsess on overall amounts of backlinks going to a website. If you focus on maximizing internal linking, and if you focus on properly creating content and optimizing that content, going back and retweaking and updating that content, you will find yourself spending less of your advertising dollars on link acquisition. Do not acquire services that have a sole purpose of boosting a third-party metric. Do not use automated link building tools and point them to your website. Automated link building tools should only be utilized, if ever utilized, on tiering up your backlinks that are already pointing to your website. Primary emphasis should be increasing the overall page authority of your lowest performing websites that you currently have pointing at your website. Meaning, if you have DR5 links and you have DR80 links, focus your energy on increasing the power of the DR5s. If you have a page that is performing well in SERPs, getting a lot of traffic, and you've pointed a lot of links at that specific page, and you then create a new page, increase the amount of internal links from the top performing page to your new page for faster indexing and better rankings faster of the new content. What else can I say? Every single person watching gave me a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. This was a good one, I take it. I'm glad I could help. Something triggered me before. Somebody asked me something and I'm like, man, you know what? I'm going to make a video and I'm going to go over it. And that's what I did. I know I'm getting tired, but I feel like we need to say a few more things here. Bear with me. For the vast majority of local businesses, do not allocate too much time or resources on building out advanced schemas. Focus on the primary schemas that top performers have, and make sure that you're following the schema.org hierarchy when implementing your schemas. Overstuffing and or over emphasizing schemas does not lead to much higher rankings for the time and the budget that it takes to properly implement. It is a really good idea to name the page and some of the objects that are on the page. Don't get me wrong. However, going above board is not going to give you a ranking advantage. If you have more than one location, do not utilize the same local business details on those internal local pages. Also, do not add review schema on pages that aren't dedicated to reviews. This is against the guidelines, and this is one of the only schema penalties that definitely gets enforced. Just because you might find a top competitor doing something and getting away with it does not mean that you should. Period. And this goes with anything for a local business website. Just because you see someone else doing something wrong and unoptimal and winning does not mean that that is going to be the best for long-term success for your business and for your business's online presence. Okay. I think we're good. Now, I'll add more to this later, but I want to put this up so people can see it. All right. All right, this way you guys will be able to read it. Okay. Okay, let's go over here. Click on this. Wait a minute. Wait a second. All right, let's just go in here and do this. I got this thing on whatchamacallit, and I put one of my lists in here, and I'm gonna try it out some more. I usually use my main list is with MailerLite, but I took like some of the older ones that I had. I went in here and created this, so let's go ahead and see. Let's get our form. Copy code. Hopefully somebody might want to get on this mailing list. I don't know. I don't like those colors very much. No bots, please. I don't really like those colors, so I'm not gonna lie to you. View the forums. Paid newsletter. Can I edit this? Oh, I can. How about first name, email? Name and email. Fine by that. I like the consent form. Cool with that. Okay. Update. And then as far as the color, does it have a color? Yes, it doesn't. All right, here, copy this freaking code. I don't really want that there, but all right. Now, what I want is this. Copy. Then we'll come into here. We're going to grab one of these bad boys. Where is it? Button. I think newsletter is one word, right? Yep. Sure is, Chris. Sure is. We'll go to the form. Okay. Enter. All right. Okay, now this particular piece. Dude, you're making me crazy. Okay, whatever. Let me see here. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Rename. Local SEO strategy. Rename. Okay. Okay. And this is a... Alrighty. Okay. Alright, we'll fix all that stuff up later. Not too concerned with that at this present moment. Let's just get that page up. Alright, let's see here. La 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 la. La na 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 na. Okay, republish. Now it should have, and I'll have to double check this. It should have added it to my drop down. Okay, good. And it should have added it to my list. Good, 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 good. Now, this, I've been meaning to do this for a while. What I've been wanting to do is moving this down. Well, I want to move the whole thing down. How do I do that? Let me see here. Aha. Okay. So let's do about 100. Now, this little box here, I want to move that over to here. Okay? And this little box, I want to move right to here. I want to get rid of this. Okay? And this, I actually want to put back over to here. Not like that, like this. Why won't it spread out for me? Whatever. Bring this up. Bring this, I hate doing this stuff. God. The worst job in the world. I'm so glad I don't have to do this for anybody else. That's the job I loathe. Freaking dragging and dropping boxes on a freaking page. Jeez Louise, I hate that. Alright, I'm gonna go back here. Uh-oh, it says I can't do it. Oh my gosh, I went and did it now. Okay, move this back over here. Bring this back over here. What do I have to do? Go here. go to this column, right? Is that what it is? I go like this, put this here, right? Then I take this box and I got to put it in this box. Okay? Then I got to take this box and put it in this box. Then I got to get these boxes. Son of a gun. Better go back. Then I got to get this box. Here, can I make this box smaller? Okay. Get this box and bring it up to this box. Now, I got my purple here. Okay, good. All right, now, is there a way? Ooh, this is what I want. I want this right here. Can I move this down? Am I allowed to do that? Is that... Can I do that? Can I just put this right here? Because I would really like that. And then can I put this like on the side over here? How about up here? Okay, I'll do that. So I can do this. How do I know if it's in the center? Oh my god. God, I hate doing this. Okay. Oh my lord. Dude, I don't even care. Alright, so that's that. Big like that. That's good. That's good. Okay, there's my smiling face. White label. Okay, take this. Design. What color? I don't know. White? I want it to be white. So what you will never see on Chris Palmer's channel is a web design tutorial. That I can assure you. Oh my lord. Oh yeah, that's what I need to do. There's two things that I need to do. Dude, I just want to freaking move this back. Can I just live a little bit, please? I promise I'll never try to edit anything ever again. I swear I won't. What it says it's purple, but it's not though. You know, like it's just not. So this, you can delete this. Boop. All right, so we're on this page here. This down here, I guess that could stay like that. I'm fine with that. Can I move this down? Wait a minute. This worked out pretty good here. Well, it kind of worked out good for me. I mean, it did kind of what I wanted it to do. Can I make this... is that how I want it? Not really. I kind of want this up here. Cut. V. Okay. Can I make that bold? And can I make that white? Perfect. Freaking perfect. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Wow. That was torture. Mind-numbing. My least favorite job in the entire world is anything to do with... So it's not that I dislike designing things. That I find quite fun. What I dislike is website design. That I do not like. I do not like it at all, actually. Okay, now, this, get rid of. This, get rid of. This whole row, get rid of. All right, widget, and I want to put a button down there, but I don't want it to be a site-wide footer. Okay. Wow. That was a ton of fun. All right, now, if I go to my home page, is it the same? I want to go to this page right here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So it did. It stayed the same. Beautiful. I'm very happy. Consulting. Okay, everything is right. Okay, good. Mastermind, services, consulting. Okay, now if I go to this, I click on this. Okay, you can get to everything. All right, I'm a happy camper then. I'm totally cool now. I feel a lot better now. This is clear. Everything is clear, Chris. Okay, thank you. Everything is easy to find. Do I have any other content that I need to put up? I think that's it. All right, I'm pretty happy now. $1,300 volume. Dude, like, do I want to try to go for this? Dude, that would be a sick term to win, huh? Content writing service. It's not really more of an SEO content writing service. Does that have search volume? That's more my style. SEO content writing service. Let's go for SEO content writing service. Okay. Turnaround time. 7 to 10 days. 3 to 5 days. Uh, uh, hmm. So what is it? SEO content writing services? SEO content writing services? Okay. And then it's content writing. So let's do SEO. SEO content writing service. All right, save. Hell no. Why would I want to put in a redirect? For what? All right. Now, SEO content writing service. Let's go double check that page quick. Chris Palmer, markt.com. SEO content writing service. Did I type it in wrong? SEO? Yes, I did. Content. Getting tired, dude. Is this page right? Oh, wait. Did I not save it? Whoops. Oh my goodness. Cut. All right. What the heck? Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find. I need to get something. I need. Oh my gosh. All right. So let's sign in. Okay. Copy. Get rid of this. Okay. Now give me 1 second. I need to do. I'm just doing a scrape for the most relevant terms real quick here. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Just give me a second. There we are. Okie doke. Okay. All right. So what I need is this. Okay. All right. And then I could share this again. All right. We can open this up. Or actually go back. Drag this in. Nope. All right. Let's go back here to the drive. Drag this in. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Go to Sheets. You get rid of this and this. All right. All right. And let that save. We're going to open this up. Okay, now we could delete this. Okay. Okay. So these are the most, that's funny. That's hysterical, really. Okay. Okay. Now this is all right. That's fine. Offering big Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Okay, so we take okay. We will go into here, go for a nice dark purple. Okay. All right. Now, this purple. All right. So now I need all right. It's this one. All right. So it's talking about different types. So that's always interesting. What's this? Oh, what's that? Pricing. Hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. Uh, all right. All right. Okay. Okay. 5, 6. So hot in here. All right, I'm going to bed. I'm done. Publish this. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. One more second. One more thing. All right. Let me publish that, and I'm out of here. It's been such a pleasure. I'll probably trim off the back end of this video. Oh, man. Thank you so much. I had a very busy day. I had a lot of fun. I'll trim off the back end of this video where it was bored out of my mind. I should have shut it off and just did what I had to do, but we had some fun. Thank you so much. I'm going to sleep. I'm doing good. I'm sweating my buns off, though. It's hot in here. I'm sick of standing here. I've been standing here all day, but thank you for coming on. NP, thank you. I appreciate your time. Doug Moe, thank you again for your time. WP Engine, you're going to be paying a lot of... it's a high-quality service, but you're going to really pay for it, and you could get a lot more for that same type of money utilizing a VPS setup, okay? I'm not taking away from their service. It's great, but you're paying top dollar for something you could get for a fraction of the cost. You know, I'm all good for paying good money, but if I'm going to pay top dollar, I would just go use Azure. You know what I'm saying? Catching a Palmer live stream right at the morning coffee is legit start. Thank you, Larson. I appreciate that. Ryan Spot, thumbs up. Yes, sir. Paul Baker, fantastic. Good job. Thank you, Paul. Larson, I'm legit way too old to still do HTML instead of WordPress or services like Duda. Yep. I still have lots of, I have Bootstrap sites, but that's not what we're doing here today. And Juan, rock on, bro. Thumbs up. I love you. I love you too. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much, everybody. I really do appreciate you. If you can, please, if you're seeing this, take the time, please. I urge you, if you can, check us out over at the SEOmastermind.org. Okay? I'm sure you might have saw this already, but if you have not, you can come in here. You can read a little bit about it. I have to update that. You can click on the Explore button. You know, there's discovery. You can ask questions. There's different masterminds. There's multiple masterminds. There's a testing group, an affiliate group. There's just a group coaching group interested in training programs, GSA training, business video training, Google Business Profile Checklist, expert on page. This is actually coming down, but not right now. GSA list, entity scraper, how to build links, how to use TextRaiser, right? Services, bam, takes you right over here. You can come into the services. That's services.chrispalmermarketing.com. Check me out. I have everything you need. You want a la carte? You want to just go down the list? That's fine, but I took out the backlinks. Here's what I want to share with you with the backlinks if you haven't been over here, right? So looking for guest posts? Great, we have guest posts. Looking for powerful links? Click on here. You could see the list. Go ahead, check it out. It's up to you. You could take a look at the list. All right. This is the visitors on the site. This is the DA. This is the trust flow and citation flow. This is the UR and the DR. This is where the country is at, or where the primary server is at, okay, for the most part. And then this right here is the topic. There's only 500 here, okay. Depending on the relationship that we have, you'll never see this, but there's many more sites that we can get potential placements for you on, okay? So don't worry about that. Like this, I think we show 500. We have 6 times this amount. So yep. So moving on. Next thing too, you could see packages. We just added this probably 2-3 weeks ago, I think. 2 weeks. It's up to you. You could read whatever you want. Have your choices. Last but not least, we have a la carte services, where you could pick it. I left some of the stuff in here, like press releases, citations, international citations, branded web 2.0s. You want to join the newsletter, that's right here. Entity extraction tool. Man, I should get a link to this. Anyway, also GMB optimization, is still on here. Mostly that's after a consultation. I point people over here. But that is enough. When I'm streaming, my computer always wants to update tools. I love that. Boy, I love that. So you could see for yourself. I guess I don't need to go through it. But in any case, check out the mastermind. Please, by all stretch, try us out for some services or private consultation. So if you just want to meet one-on-one, we could chat about whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. Also, too, you want 15% recurring on any service, sign up as an affiliate. Okay? So, see you next time. That's a lot to talk about. Jeez Louise. I saved that to the end. Maybe I'll move it to the front next time. I don't know. But thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to start giving out some type of checklists for this stuff for free. I don't know. I'll try I don't know. People like that. See, I didn't want to do it because it seemed like spamish, right? I know I'm a spam master, right? But that's different. Not on the people that I care for, right? Like on Google and stuff, like I don't care. But, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I guess people like the little mini little audit list I made. It's like a quick slide through, a slide deck. Like the 24 point checklist for GMB or whatever it is. So maybe I'll start making some more of those and building out more content. I think that'll be fun. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's what I've been wanting to do. I do have more to do, but in any case, I love you guys. Thank you so much for your time, and gals. But blessings. See you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.